So the journey is part of that next generation corporate training. Not just once off and finished and tick it off and move on. It's how is it part of a journey, how it can be a part of the micro learning that people are looking for as well. At the time, when I need it, when can I learn it, then can I implement it and get the feedback on it. And the research is showing that it's actually that learning and development that people get within their organization is becoming the number one thing they're looking for over and above the remuneration.
So to talk about next generation corporate training, please welcome back Dimian Curry and Jessica Kiley.
Hello again, everybody. I've missed you.
Missed you.
Okay. What we're talking about here is next generation corporate training. You know how to play this game. I want you to break up into half tables. I want you to describe to someone what is something genuinely new and interesting that you have seen in corporate training in the last 5 years. And if there's nothing interesting, nothing new or interesting that you've seen in the last 5 years, then that's interesting in itself. Right now, start now, go. What's something new and interesting that you've seen in the last 5 years in corporate training? Okay, let's all come on back. Let's all come on back. Let's all come on back. You know what amazes me? When I look at the amount of change in any field of human endeavor, I measure it by how long ago it was that if someone came from maybe 10 years, 30 years, 50 years or whatever, would they find it really difficult to recognize what was going on? Like in manufacturing, 20 years. Someone was in manufacturing 20 years, seeing manufacturing methods now, unbelievable. Medicine, 10 years. If you were out of the game 10 years, you'd find it really difficult to cope. Administration, maybe 40 years. The office of 40 years ago, very different from now. Corporate training has hardly changed since the original model in the Roman era, 2,000 years ago. In fact, I remember, by the way, any other Latin scholars? Anybody forced to learn Latin at school? Okay, very good. Yeah, I thought you looked familiar. You know, in fact, in my Latin class, when the teacher entered the room, we go, "Salve, magister," where we get the word magistrate, with whom you cannot argue. And the teacher would say, "Salvete discipuli," disciples, followers, those who will not argue. We haven't changed corporate training in the last many decades. What we're going to look at now is what we can expect for the next generation of corporate training. And there's a common theme here. That typically, when we prepare a training program, what do we do? What do we think first? We think, what do I have to get across? We go information first, true or not? You've got to prepare a presentation. What do you do? What do I need to, what information do I need? Well, here's the problem that I think I need to address here. Is a problem, and I don't like to be the person that reveals this problem that you have, but it is my hard lot to do. You're all very smart people. I'm sorry to break it to you. I try to be gentle, but you're very smart people, and you cannot stand the thought of other people not understanding things as well as you, true or not? Like, you just can't say, like, you understand something, you think, oh, okay, it's so beautiful that I understand this, and you prepare a presentation, and what do? You immediately grab your PowerPoint, and you start pushing stuff in. You go, 7 minutes, plenty of time, let's get some more slides in. What we need to do is shift that to end the information-first approach, and there are 3 fundamental principles. The first one, you've already seen. It is Jessica's favorite. Describe.
Yes, thank you. It is one of our key ones that we do all of the time. And you've probably noticed every single one of our presenters has done it as well. And it's the connection before content. And having that in mind when you're thinking about what you want to share, as well as your very first moments when it's time to do that training. It's how can I connect people to the content, connect to the space we're in together, connect to the people who are in it and doing it together. And this is online, hybrid, in person. So the way that Demian just did it right at the beginning was he got you all to answer a question and discuss it with the people right next to you. So straight away, you're connecting to the content. Rather than us just doing a push straight away, it's where is the connection to the content first. Now, there's lots of different ways that you can do that. The question is a really great way. Getting comments from the room and sharing their wisdom in the room in the first place, where you're not assuming you're the only one with the knowledge, and it gives you a great sense of where are people at right at the beginning. Then they get to connect with each other as well. So the connection before content is a key one to make sure that you're not just going into push. It's a two-way right from the beginning. I also love this one as well because it's where you get the dynamism from as well. You get the energy moving straight from that very first moment. But there are more pillars that we need to keep in mind. Demian?
Okay.
What's the next pillar?
If you have ever started or heard a presentation where the person starts saying, we better get into this, we've got a lot of material to cover, you know they've already failed the number one. Right? But the number two is again an inversion. Theory outside, practice inside. Has anybody ever heard of the concept of the flipped classroom? Okay, yeah, if you ever said, I think it started with the Khan Academy, it is amazing. The idea is the critical resource everybody has is time. And in training, it is time with the facilitator. That time we can get people together and have them with the facilitator. Why would you waste that time with simple instruction? The idea is to get the instruction done outside, get the lesson done outside, so when people are together, that time with the facilitator can be used for practice. And I'll tell you why this is important. Not only is it a better use of time, it is key learning because of the tight feedback loop. The idea of handing your homework and a day later you get it corrected or you get feedback on it, it's good, but a long way from great. When the feedback is instantaneous, when you have that tight, almost real-time feedback loop, that is when everything in the brain happens. In fact, what we do, I've watched Jessica do this with remarkable impact when she's teaching people breathing. Okay? You learn the breathing techniques outside, and when she gets people breathing, she'll get everybody standing up, and she'll actually be watching people breathing. She says, no, your lungs, your chest is too high, you're breathing too high, lower it down. She'll actually work with them. Okay, to the next person. You're actually feeling the learning. You're feeling the difference. You're having someone shape the behavior you're learning right there. That is key. But that is a subset of the third pillar.
Any guesses? I'd like to see, Demian, if we've got any guesses in the room on maybe what you're seeing as the next generation corporate training and a key pillar in there.
Hey, yeah. What is your job as trainers?
Before we
what is your
reveal
job?
like The Price is Right or Family Feud, like any guesses or things that you've seen out there as well? Follow up?
Good.
Great. Yes, because one of Demian's famous angst is that we overtrain. Yes, but it's not actually implemented a lot of the time. So the follow-up's really important. I like that one. It's not ours, though. Yeah? But it's a good one. What else? Any others?
Feedback.
Feedback. Great. And that's a key one that we love to do is, and there's lots of people in this room who have done some of our programs where you get feedback straight away. It's the best way to then actually make the adjustment, that tight feedback loop that Demian was talking about. Any others? Engagement. Yeah. Do you mean by making it engaging? And then it's actually implemented.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. The actually implemented is very important to see if it's actually worked or not. All right, I'll let you know. You're close, but not quite. Create an experience. So we've done that this evening. Hopefully you've all had somewhat of an experience and not felt like you're just sitting passively. It's where can we actively get involved? How can we make it engaging? And when we think about an experience, it's then a journey as well. So the journey is part of that next generation corporate training. Not just once off and finished and tick it off and move on. It's how is it part of a journey? How it can be a part of the micro learning that people are looking for as well. At the time, when I need it, when can I learn it, then can I implement it and get the feedback on it. And the research is showing that it's actually that learning and development that people get within their organizations is becoming the number one thing they're looking for over and above the remuneration. Because they can see that the skills they have now within 3 years will probably be somewhat redundant. So how are you helping me to keep up? And we would love to suggest that considering making all of these as the pillars, regardless of whether it's in an AI, a VR, in the metaverse, using Meta, whatever it might be, because you've got all of those tools to use these days within training, within corporate organizations. How can we ensure that those 3 pillars are there so that the training sticks and really helps that organization to move forward? Thank you.